Good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another installment of Monday Night Customs Analyst Desk. I'm your host, Doom Geek.
And I'm your boy, Dwayne. What's up, everybody?
Welcome, welcome. We have yet another exciting game to show you, and I think this is the last game that we had before the new Howling Abyss changes went into effect. So a little bit look into the past, but it's still a good game.
Oh yeah, back when ARAM was pure. Back when ARAM had strategy. Before these towers crumbled all over the map and made everything a choke.
Yeah, what
They were
happened to
simpler
Howling
times.
Abyss? Crumbling towers? Not in my day.
Back in my day, I played ARAM. We could play 80 carries.
Alright, let's go ahead and take a quick look at this game. And what do we have here for these two teams?
Oh boy, these are some wild teams. We've got a lot of damage out of Team 1. Barely a front line, just a singular Cho'Gath who needs to scale up and get his health. With the Heart Steal, by the way. I don't know about that. We can come back to that later if we want. The double binding combo of Lux Morgana, and then 280 carries. There's so much I want to say about this team, but to keep it short, we've been seeing a lot of pick comps, especially double binding pick comps, and I love this out of Team 1. I think it's really punishing on melee champs, and Team 2 has a lot of them. On Team 2, we've got kind of like a triple front line of Leona, Mordekaiser, and Aatrox, and oh man, that's tough to play into the double bindings, but because of this kind of like crazy dichotomy of these teams, you're basically going to see like super lopsided fights. You've got two scenarios in my eyes in fights between these two teams. Either Team 1 lands their bindings early and absolutely erases Team 2 before they do anything, or Team 2 gets on to Team 1 and erases them before they can do anything. What do you think, Doom Geek?
Yeah, I think that was a really good summary of both teams. One of the things that you're kind of talking about is like, how well can each of those teams execute those strategies, but how difficult is it for each of the respective teams that, like, saying like, oh, Team 1 just needs to land bindings, Team 2 just needs to land snowballs. It's like, I don't know how well our players can do either of those things. Some people are like better at doing bindings than snowballs, so back and forth. I think it'll be tricky. Team 1 will feel like they're killing it in the beginning. It's gonna be for Team 2. They need a little more time to scale, so we'll see how that ends up feeling as the game's gone and while we watch these clips.
Absolutely, and one more point about them, I think there's way too much pressure on Hector this game on the Aatrox. Aatrox has got to pop off. If Team 1 can kill Aatrox before he gets a reset, I think they just win every fight. If they can't kill him before he gets a reset, I think they just lose every fight.
Alright, let's take a look at the first clip. Where are we at?
All right, so yeah, we're pretty early into the game. We're almost 8 minutes into the game, but it feels early because there's been only 6 kills so far. This is a super low kill game so far. There's about 1 mythic on each champion, and I guess we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah. Alright, so blue team looks like they're a little bit on the back foot, kind of moving away. The red team wave is pushing forward. Cho'Gath gets hooked by the Mordekaiser and gets combo ulted by Mord and Varus ulti. Varus ulti managed to go through the Cho'Gath ult. Leona getting chunked by Lucian and then followed up by the Lux ulti. Aatrox getting cut off there, trying to decide to go in the back, but Morgana with a huge flash ulti in the back, splitting off the Varus and the Ahri, ultimately resulting in an ace for the blue team. Wow, when it rains it pours. That happened super quickly right after the Cho'Gath got hooked. Break it down for us here, Dwayne.
Yeah, so there are a couple of interesting things that happened in this fight. First of all, as you said, watch the Mordekaiser go for the ult. He ults right when the Varus ult lands, and so the Varus ult's actually able to spread to the other players. The second thing to point out here is that Aatrox goes in, he actually gets a kill, but he hasn't ulted yet. He only ults after the kill, so he doesn't get his ult reset. Since he doesn't get his ult reset, and he gets bound, there's nothing that Team 2 can do, and they get wiped off the map.
That was a lot of crazy action there. Very ballsy there too by that Morgana to do that flash in to go ahead and keep the rest of the squishies of red team off. I think that was pretty important, and now it was just a lone Aatrox there fighting against 3 other people, so wow.
Yeah, pretty psychotic behavior in my opinion. If I knew that Morgana in real life, I'd stay away.
I know, right? Too crazy for me.
But now we're on to clip 2, and we have got about 2 items in each champion now. We're slowly taking you through this game 1 item at a time.
Alright, so this time, red team go ahead and defending the tower. They catch the Cho'Gath, and Lucian gives the full blast. Leona is a hero and chunks the rest half that and gets taken out here. So we're here. Mordekaiser's trying to back off, but gets super duper CC'd by blue team. Blue team looking really good right now. Still looking for more picks under this tower. Even under tower, it's not safe for them. Cho'Gath here providing some distraction to the top, gives room for the rest of blue team to take out that tower. Now without a tower, Cho'Gath goes in. Aatrox gets the ult down, and now Aatrox, a force to be reckoned with, still gets cut down. The rest of blue team quickly collapses on the red team that's backing off there. Maybe it's not quite Aatrox's time to shine. It looked like it might have been, but maybe there needs some more items. Wayne, let's slow it down a little bit again.
Actually, I think we just move on from there. I don't think there's a lot to talk about with that clip. Team 1 lands their skill shots, and Team 2 goes in 1 at a time. And Dwayne just popped off on Lucian, so I think we just move on.
As we see this next clip, it actually rolls in right after the previous one. Let's go ahead and hit it and see what happens. So, fresh off the beats of that clip, red team has respawned and they're starting to move forward here. Morgana playing a little bit close, but does get the black shield. Kind of a weird thing there with the Mordekaiser ulti, but does manage to get off on Lux, and just kind of Lux gets the snare off, and Mordekaiser is like, alright, that's kind of done. But
rough.
Huge damage so far by the Lux ulti. Quinn goes in super deep and is unable to kill the Ahri, pays a lot with her health there. And now red team's starting to back off. Ahri super low. Blue team is going to start moving forward a little bit. Lucian gets a dive in and an ulti toward the wall. That is tough to deal with. But to match it, Leona does miss her own ult too. Blue team now all super low here. Got a full red team here. A lot of damage here going on to Leona here. They do manage to kill Leona, but that was a lot of ability and cooldowns. This Mordekaiser is trying to hold up front, but now look at this. This Aatrox is fighting off this Cho'Gath here. Cho'Gath's trying to buy time. We now have an ulti Aatrox here. Lucian Varus fights through exhaust on the top, and now combine the powers of Varus and Aatrox manages to go ahead and clean up the game. What a turnaround there for red team.
Wow, I did not expect that. I think we should definitely rewind this clip. So, at the beginning, you can see Dwayne on Lucian and Drop Like His Box on Lux are having the time of their lives. Lucian is diving in and out of every fight. He's getting away with murder here, just absolutely dealing out so much damage and staying out of the range of Team 2. Lux is landing almost every single skill shot. Look at Lux's positioning right now. All the way at the bottom of the map, lands the double ulti. Sure, not the best targets, but boom, another binding right here. Absolutely does not miss. Drop It Like His Box is landing everything and staying safe. Unfortunately, they're not allowed to kill Aatrox before he resets. Look at this healing! He was about to die! That's messed up.
Huge healing. Yeah, so I think that's the key part of it. If they lock someone down, they're having to commit to all of that. But if they happen to like commit too much, the red team, if they can take advantage of that opening, can really turn it around. With blue team being pretty dependent on their cooldowns here.
Oh, ban that guy. I'm having Worlds flashbacks.
On to the last clip.
Now we're on clip 3. Yeah, and now we've got 3 items each. So we're almost there, folks.
So this is the same Varus and Aatrox from the last fight, and they're kind of pushing this tower. The Lucian has respawned now, and he's trying to valiantly hold down this tower. Getting huge amounts of damage here, though. But now with the Ahri joining, the tower does go down. But this combined with the Lux ulti, Varus and Aatrox are so close to death. Varus is going to try to die here to commit time. Aatrox and Ahri on their retreat. Quinn is super fast there. Quinn on the chase. All the abilities to slow Quinn do miss, and Quinn continues on, having just killed Aatrox here. Now we have Quinn chasing here, looking for people who's low. And a black shield to cancel out the Mordekaiser ult. Insane. And a binding on top of that as well. This allows Quinn to chase down and kill the Ahri. Now we're left with Leona Mordekaiser. They're cleaning up the Mord. Leona's next, and I think that's the end of red team. Blue team victory here. Wow.
Oh, the binding!
What a series of events there. Like, What happened? That really looked like, it went from red team pushing Nexus to like red team losing.
That was brutal. And really the key thing to note about this push is that red team funneled in one at a time and was just killed one at a time and had their back staggered all across Howling Abyss, all the way from the enemy Nexus all the way to their own Nexus. And it was a comedy of errors too. I mean, they died in such ridiculous ways. Lucian absolutely popped off in his 1v3 next to his inhibitor. And even though Dwayne died on Lucian here, he took Varus and Aatrox so low that his team was able to pick it up from there and go to the victory. One thing I want to point out though here is this insane Mordekaiser ult play that we've got to slow down. And Doomgeek, I didn't notice this the first time I watched this, so would you please break this down for me? And we're gonna actually go to slow-mo for this. That's right, we've got effects, folks.
Yeah, we're gonna go
Walk me through this. What happens?
So right now, if we go into super slow motion here, we can see that the Quinn is moving up, and the Morgana here is out of range for Black Shield. So Morgana's gonna head and try to go like flash to close the gap, but when she flashes, she actually gets dragged by the Mord to close the gap, and that gives the range for the Black Shield. What an insane combination here. The Morgana flash was not enough to close the gap. It's the Morgana flash into the Mord hook to finally be able to close that down, and then Quinn get the shield to survive the Mordekaiser ulti and also the subsequent charm by Ahri.
That is insane. What an unlucky moment there for Mordekaiser. I mean, honestly, that's just so brutal. What are you supposed to do as Mordekaiser there?
It is just super duper unlucky. Like you're saying before, the chain of events that occurred from blue team just to happen so perfectly. We were talking about before, this was probably a big turning point for red team. Had they went ahead and like had some more time, I think the Aatrox really would have become effective, unstoppable. We did see that the Lucian had Gale Force and not Kraken Slayer, so that's going to be pretty hard. But blue team manages to close it out just in the nick of time, coming out ahead with the victory there, resulting in a blue team victory.
Absolutely. And who do we think the MVP was of this game, Doomgeek?
So we kind of went back and forth in this. I think there were a lot of like fun, key, and exciting players here from both teams. But for us, ultimately, we decided on Dwayne here for his Lucian play, getting some solid damage off the beginning. We saw Lucian ultis always being able to great damage, taking out a key member of the fight there, and even at the end there, kind of holding out a 1v2 situation to kind of set the chain of events for that would ultimately end the game.
Absolutely. He popped off that game, dancing in and out of skill shots and dealing so much damage, even though he didn't even have a Kraken Slayer. Well deserved.
All right, well that's it for this week's games. I'm super duper excited to see what this week will yield, given the new debris and the portals. There's going to be a lot to go ahead and figure out in this new meta of Monday Night Customs.
New meta, baby! Let's go!
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining tonight. I'm Doomgeek.
And I'm your boy, Dwayne.
We'll see you in the abyss. Take care, everyone.